The Wall Street Journal publishing a story claiming Amazon kept a so-called burn book, a private dossier that catalogued insults from New York officials during its HQ2 search. Joining us now is Katie Honan, one of the reporters who broke that story. Good afternoon to you, Katie. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So what exactly have you unearthed here?
Well, you know, the very short love affair between New York City and state and Amazon, throughout the process, an Amazon spokeswoman told us it was preparation for a hearing. They kind of started keeping track of the really mean and some funny things that New York elected officials and union leaders and other officials were saying about Amazon at rallies and on Twitter and at hearings. It was a way for them to kind of get a read for what was going on in New York City as the climate got increasingly worse for the company and their plan to bring an HQ2 campus to Long Island City, Queens. A really interesting look at just, I guess, opposition research you would have for a lot of other political campaigns or something.
So Katie, I mean, is this typical, as you say, opposition research as is the norm often in these days, or is it a sign that this partnership between Amazon and New York was never going to work?
I think it was both. It really revealed just how strained things were in the process, and probably a good look at just how mismatched New York and Amazon were. It's good to look at it in almost relationship terms. You know, both sides wanted the other one to change drastically. You know, New York wanted Amazon to be a union-friendly company when that wasn't going to happen, and I'm sure Amazon wanted New York to be a little bit friendlier towards it coming and bringing these thousands of jobs. So it was sort of impossible almost from the get-go.
So anyone that's watched Mean Girls knows that there's always one person that gets called out the most in the burn book in terms of the most trash that gets spoken about her. Which politician was it?
It was Queens State Senator Michael Genaris, who he was selected to a kind of obscure state agency that actually had some pull over the subsidies that Amazon was going to get. You know, he, among other officials, were really some of the loudest critics of the plan. It was in his district that it was going to come into in Long Island City, Queens. But he had 25 entries. Other politicians had less than a dozen or so. Some of the selections were kind of funny in what was picked. A union leader was standing outside during a very cold day and said it was cold outside, but not as cold as Jeff Bezos' heart, which was also highlighted in the book. So they really ran, it really was a range of things that people said in this very short 3-month-long process.